Okay, we should be live now. Yes, we are live. Good morning. This is Young Entrepreneurs Helping the Future of Business episode. We had a little bit technical difficulty to get us started, but we are here a few minutes late, but we are streaming live right now on Facebook. And with me, our co-host Juliana Snyder, who is here. And we have a special guest from Vino and Vision, our Vino and Vision Pensacola, Florida coach, um, Melissa. How you pronounce your last name, Melissa?
Buchholz.
Bohols. Okay, so Melissa Bohols is with us. So why don't we go ahead and get some introduction from Juliana, and then Juliana can introduce Melissa for us.
Okay, good morning. Good day to see you guys again. So I'm Juliana. I'm a young entrepreneur, business owner, an avid learner. So, I'm here to introduce Melissa, and she is another young entrepreneur who's accomplished a lot of things and into nutrition and to coaching. So, excited to hear what she has to share for us today. So, Melissa, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Hi, yes. So I'm Melissa. I am 23 years old. I am a certified health coach and life coach with a focus on habit and behavior change. And I'm just really excited to be here again, like you, always learning. I watch every episode of The Entrepreneurs. So I'm really excited to be here and talk with you guys.
Awesome. Can you share just a little bit about your background and history and kind of like how you became an entrepreneur and what fueled your passion for that?
Yeah, I feel like I've always kind of wanted my own business, but I just never really knew what to do. And I didn't know exactly that wanting my own business was what I wanted. But I've kind of hopped around from going to school. I've dropped in and out of different schools and trying to learn things. I've done every single job that there is, hopping from different jobs, not realizing that I was actually searching for that one thing that I really wanted to do. And it came through my own health challenges, getting help that I needed and learning that this was really what I wanted to do. I wanted to share after getting the help that I needed. I wanted to be able to do that for other people as well.
Very good. Can you share just kind of some of your decisions that led to owning your own business? I know you said through kind of your own background, because I think having various jobs helps you determine more of what you want. Can you just like help us through sharing kind of like your process there and your decision making?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've kind of hopped, like I said, from different jobs, and I've worked in some very toxic work environments that have caused me to have an amount of anxiety that started to affect me physically. So it was wanting that freedom to just kind of have my own schedule, kind of, be able to work for myself. So I started wanting my own business, and I wanted that, but I didn't know how to go about it, and I didn't know what I wanted that business to be. And then I learned that about something I've learned about myself is that it couldn't just be a regular business where I'm just selling something. I really wanted to help people who are either in the same situation as me or suffer from different things as me. And so through, my own health and dealing with those anxieties, I learned that health coaching and life coaching is like a perfect balance between your physical health and your mental health, and being able to help people that way. It's just very rewarding.
Very good. Yeah, I think all three of us here have had various backgrounds and jobs, that led us to eventually get into entrepreneurship and business. I know, Dr. Milu, you had a lot of various jobs as well.
Yes, over time, as you look at my background, you will see that I have worked on Fortune 500 companies, and it's a long relationship there. And I was in the leadership position and managed multiple people there in multiple locations, so including places like India, places like Australia, places like Brussels, and at the same time in St. Louis, Missouri. So, internationally present for management side. So that was a very good experience to bring into this as far as business coaching and also now growing 2 companies at the same time. And Melissa is part of that, and she's doing fantastically well. And with her mindset of a coach that she's bringing into this Vino and Vision, I think not only the Florida team is benefiting from that, also our global team is benefiting from her presence and her expertise. So I think that would be a fabulous thing to have in our entire organization.
Yeah. So Melissa, you said one of the things that you like to do is help other people with what you've learned and acquired through your background and your experience. Can you tell us a little bit about like what you want to achieve in terms of helping other people, and what are the most important things that you see for young entrepreneurs and just people in general?
Okay, so the first part of your question, sorry, that was a long question. So the first part, as far as, what was the first part of that question?
Yep.
I know as far, sorry.
You're good. So what are some like important things that you see for young entrepreneurs through your experience and through your background?
Okay, so I think the importance for young entrepreneurs, something that has helped me a lot is your own experience goes a long way as well. Like you can go chasing certification after certification, and of course you need some certifications, but don't undervalue your own experience, because you want to reach people through the heart as well, and being able to reach out to people who've been through similar things as you, that's going to go a long way as far as the business side of it goes, as far as like marketing goes and stuff like that. Reaching out to people who you can empathize with. So I think that is important as well. Don't diminish your own experience in that. And that will help your confidence as well. Because I think for me, the biggest thing was trying to find confidence and not really feeling comfortable speaking about my story. Share your story, share what you've been through, because that's what's going to help you as far as reaching out to people and connecting with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really awesome that you're saying that, because it's so true that connecting to people on a personal level is super important, especially nowadays. With millennials, it's kind of like a trend. We like to see authenticity and a little bit of vulnerability. That we didn't really see maybe in the older generation. I think that's really important to hone in on. So can you talk a little bit about the support system that you need as you grow your own business, and also just in general as just person learning and growing?
Yeah, I think it's important that, especially if you're a coach, to maybe have a coach yourself, have someone who's kind of being your backbone, because I think that is the key to anything, is having that right support and accountability, and having someone to really follow up with you on that and to keep you accountable as well while you're keeping other people accountable. So I think having a support system goes a long way. And I think Vino and Vision really helps with that as well. Being there, working with other coaches and just kind of learning and growing from each other, that helps a lot. So as you're helping other people, it's important to make sure that you don't let yourself go as well, and kind of get yourself that help that you need as well.
Yeah. Just talking about continuing that experience and growth in yourself, leading from leading yourself first. What are some things that you do in order to build your experience? You say you're saying that your experience is super important. What are some things to build your experience?
To build my experience, so I think it's important to keep recognizing, like, even as a coach, you're not going to be perfect yourself. So I think it's important to just keep checking in with yourself. I'm not perfect, even though I am a health coach and I will coach people on, nutrition and stuff. I have to make sure that I am doing what I'm telling people to do, because you can only take the client as far as you're willing to go yourself. So I make sure that I am willing to do the things that I, tell people they should do. And also check in with myself to make sure, okay, am I still in alignment with what I'm saying? Am I still thinking about myself and what I'm doing as far as that experience is going? And I think that is important, because if you're not if you're not willing to do the things that you're telling people, how can you tell someone else to do it? It's just not going to work. So being authentic and having that authenticity behind you is important as well.
Yeah, very good. Dr. Milu, this is a question for you. So how do you build your experience and your knowledge base?
You know, it's come down to the same thing that Melissa is saying, and I'm surprising that Melissa adding the things that I've been thinking about as well, the being authentic and being, you know, sharing your story. You know, sharing your story is very important, and then comfortable with yourself, what you do. And same time, she's mentioning about do what you, you know, do the things that you are telling people to do yourself. So, you know, and your question was related to that is how do you apply that? And is over time you build up experience, and that experience give you certain degree of expertise. But at the same time, if you are not genuine and authentic to yourself and apply the same thing that you are telling other people to do, you are missing the game, or you are missing your authenticity. So authenticity is the root of everything that you do, and having the confidence, because confidence build up, and for the young entrepreneurs mainly, because you don't have the time, you know, yet for building that expertise of 20, 30 years of corporate life or whatnot, but you have the knowledge that you need to build that experience, and having that um, and you know, I know Juliana and I talked about that on our previous version of this episode, is that young entrepreneurs just need to have that belief in their own self and the confidence on their self, that there is expertise that we will be building over time, right? At the same time, what we are doing, if we are practicing it right, and if we know this is the right thing to do, and we are following that and building our expertise, you don't have to have the expertise today. And just like Melissa said, you can make mistakes. You are not perfect, and nobody is. Even after you know, 30 years of corporate life, I would tell you I'm not perfect either. But at the same time, we have built some degree of expertise. So that's my way of looking at it. And at the same time, I think it aligns very well with what Melissa is saying, building the expertise that you don't have right now, but you are building it with the authenticity and the value that you created over time. How about that?
Yeah. I think that's good points that you make there. So I think I recently read this book called Shameless Plug for How to Decide by Annie Duke, and she's a world-class chess player, and she wrote a really good book about how to decide. And so it's really interesting. You know, some of the concepts that you bring up here, and gaining more experience and knowledge is really important and should be valued as well. And just it gives us as people more opportunity to be empathetic towards other people, understanding, you know, their position, helping us to be better business people. And also just as you acquire more experiences, you also learn how to decide even better and faster, because you become to know yourself even more, so that you can make those decisions a lot easier. So I think that's one of the things, like with reading books, you know, people who read a lot of books or have a lot of experience, they tend to have a greater knowledge base, greater experiences, so that they can connect with other people even better. So I think, you know, that's another good way, is to just put yourself out there to experience more through books, through, you know, in-person things, through online things, like, you know, just acquiring more experience will help you as business owners and entrepreneurs to connect with other people and kind of look at the market, because one of the biggest reasons why businesses fail is because they don't know their audience base, and they don't know the market. So, you know, if you can connect with people, and if you understand their needs, then you're able to, you know, help them and build your own business.
Mm-hmm. And very well said, because one of the things that Melissa mentioned earlier is, you know, some of the young entrepreneurs, especially the young coaches who are coming into coaching industry, they go after a lot of certification, is to just to build up the expertise, which is Certification is important, but you don't need a whole bunch of them. What you need to have is a quality education or quality certification, and then have the confidence to actually do it. Rather than having 5 or 10 certification, you need to actually do it. And when you are doing it and practicing it over time, you will build up that expertise that will help you as a coach, life coach, health coach, or whatnot, and also practicing it in your day-to-day life. It's a day in, day out. So not spending a lot of time and money for getting the certifications, a number of them, because what you are doing there is you are trying to establish and gaining more and more knowledge, but never utilizing that knowledge. So it goes back to do 1 or 2 certification, what need to be done, and then move on to actually doing the practice. Actually be a coach and coach somebody and start coaching. Coach everybody that you can come in touch with, because if you are building your business and future as a coach, that's what you will be doing. So it's like, if you look at my day schedule, one after another, I have coaching clients that I'm spending time every day, and which is over time, that's the best practice you can have. And that's the best certification you can have, is the knowledge you gain from your clients, because you're helping them as well and using the authenticity of your own.
Yep. So Melissa, going back to starting your own business and having your own business, what are some of the challenges that you've seen as a young entrepreneur, and as just as you experience different things? What are some challenges in owning your own business and starting your own business?
My biggest challenge with starting my own business is my own confidence, honestly, because I had to learn, again, feeling comfortable sharing my story, reaching out to people with that mindset of self-sabotage and trying to tell myself, oh, who am I to do this? Who am I? Especially being young, I think that's really challenging for young entrepreneurs to be like, who am I? I'm 23 years old. What do I have business coaching someone older than me? But getting over that, I've coached a lot of people who are older than me, and it's not about your own knowledge. It's about connecting with them on that emotional level. And coaching is about more of what the client has the answers, not you, and you just draw it out of them. So it's really, I'm just like the vessel that they use to gain what they need already know in their heart, that they just need to get drawn out. So getting over myself was the biggest thing. And once I could do that, once I just kind of was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to connect with people. That's when things started happening for me. And I know something Dr. Malou always says is to start with your inner circle. And that was the one people that I didn't want to talk to. I didn't want to talk to people that I already knew. I didn't want to talk to my friends. I didn't want to talk to my family. I wanted to reach out to strangers. For some reason, that was easier for me. But reaching out and telling people, getting comfortable with communicating what you do with people, that's when things start to turn around for you. So I think that was my biggest challenge as an entrepreneur, was just getting over that confidence and learning to just connect with people, tell them what you do.
Yeah, I so agree with you when you're saying you don't want to start with the inner circle, because it's very vulnerable, because they know you. And I guess when you have your own business and you say what you desire, what you're doing, you kind of just put it all out there. And so if they reject it, or maybe your business fails, it's can hurt you personally. So I totally understand whenever you say it's very vulnerable to share with other people what you do. But yeah, it's part of it is, as a young entrepreneur, building that confidence. But also I think maybe identifying like some of the things that you do better that sets you apart, kind of like your your advantage that you have as a young entrepreneur. Maybe you have a different mindset, maybe your approach is a little bit different. Just finding that niche or your thing that makes you unique or special in what you do, and just being able to promote that, being humble enough and vulnerable enough to take critical feedback, but also then confident enough to, share what you have and to be unapologetic about it.
Mhm.
Yep. Dr. Mila, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I think you guys are doing the right thing here. And what we are doing here is we are building that confidence base for young entrepreneurs to come in, join us, and we will help you on that regard. We have coaching going on, and some coaches like Melissa, who is part of this Vino and Vision organization that we have, and with the confidence that you can coach people twice of your age, because it's not about you, it's about the client, and it's what is in them and what helps them. Is if you know how to coach them, you should be able to help anybody. So with that confidence, and like Melissa mentioned, that I'm a vessel, and I using me to go deeper into where your answers are is the best way to do it. And and it's also connects to the heart that she was mentioning, that in our Vino and Vision modules, we apply different techniques of coaching. And it is one that is, and I was just discussing that yesterday on the Coffee with the Coach segment, is your unconscious, conscious, and subconscious. Sorry, yes. So your conscious, subconscious, and your unconscious, the three layer of your consciousness, and how important it is to understand that unconscious is the biggest chunk that you have and is like the bottom of the iceberg, right?
Yeah.
So your conscious is the top of the iceberg, which you can see, and the theory is you can see it. So if you can see it, you can believe it. But think about the unconscious, which is the bottom of the iceberg. In the middle is subconscious, and subconscious means just that. You can see part of it and you cannot see the rest of it, and you can connect it. That's the subconscious. But unconscious is something that is totally underneath and you cannot see it.
Yeah,
And our role as a coach is just that, is connecting and finding the huge area of opportunity that you have, that is you cannot even see right now, and that is going to your unconscious level of thoughts. And when you go there, yeah, and when you go there and you unearth that and you bring it up in front of you and you can see it, and when you can see it, you can believe it, and then you can do it, because that's how powerful it is. And that's what the coaches do here, and Melissa is getting very good at it.
Yep, I think bringing in Sigmund Freud is a good thing. Understanding someone's, how people work is very interesting, and I think it plays a big role into business. The super ego, and the ego. I think that's sort of what you're referring to, and some of that there. But yeah, I think it's super important. And one last question for Melissa before we go: what are some things that you've learned recently that have helped you in your business?
Something I've learned recently that has helped me in my business. I think life coaching is kind of new to me with Vino and Vision. So going through the Vino and Vision training, before that, my focus was just health coaching mostly. Even though I'm life coach certified, my focus was mainly health coaching. And the training through Vino and Vision has really made me think and, see the value of life coaching and understanding how the human, like you said, kind of like how the human brain works, how a person works, and how coaching is actually very, very, not very, but also very different for life coaching than it is for health coaching. And it's just pretty amazing to kind of learn those things and see how to apply that in my business. And I've been using a lot of it as the things that I learned from life coaching with health coaching as well. And just kind of learning to pause more and let people really reach into their minds and think more. And it's pretty exciting to see the the breakthroughs that they come up with that way.
Yeah, very good. So next week, I know we're running out of time now. Next week, we'll hear a little bit more about Melissa's story and kind of some of the things that she's been working on and what she wants to accomplish in the future. So thank you for being with us today, Melissa, and we really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thanks for
thank you.
having me.
Thank you very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you.